United Nations send strong message to Nigeria over Nnamdi Kanu detention. So guys, it don't happen again. Once again, Nigeria is on the news, and not for good though. Now all these ones, all this kind matter, then you they see them when they disobey court orders and all that thing. That is the only way, then they see them. Not for good. The United Nations Human Rights Office has once again urged Nigeria to comply with international law regarding the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. The UN insists on his immediate release of fair trial, citing the rulings of the UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. The United Nations has renewed its pressure on the Nigerian government over the prolonged detention of Nnamdi Kanu. In a statement released by the Human Rights Office, the UN reminded Nigeria of its international obligations. Nnamdi Kanu's rights must be respected. The statement reads, "Detaining him without due process violates international law. The global body urged President Tinubu's administration to release Kanu or ensure a fair and speedy trial." This follows the earlier UN Working Group's findings that Kanu's freedom was arbitrary and unlawful. Human rights organizations across the world are joining the call. As the world watches, will Nigerian government listen? Will they ever listen to people who are saying what you are doing is not good? Nnamdi Kanu not be your problem. Will they ever listen to people's voices that are saying stop this to avoid more problem? Meanwhile, a member of the global legal consortium representing the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, Jude Njoko, has blamed his continued detention on what he described as grave legal errors by his former legal team and executive overreach by the federal government. In a statement issued on Thursday in Abuja, Njoko stated that the government exploited procedural misstep to extend Kanu's incarceration despite a 2022 ruling that had discharged him. Njoko pointed to the October 13, 2022 ruling by the Court of Appeal, which discharged Nnamdi Kanu because the court lacked jurisdiction to try him. That ruling should have ended the matter. The failure to enforce it was a critical error, Njoko stated. He explained that the federal government wrongly used Order 6 Rule 1 of the Court of Appeal rules, the civil procedure, to challenge a criminal discharge, thereby reopening a case that had been legally terminated. This was a cultural legal blunder. That rule is meant for civil appeals, not criminal ones. It should never have applied. By going along with this, Uzokome effectively allowed a dead case to be reopened, he added. The legal practitioner also faulted the Supreme Court for accepting the federal government appeals despite the Court of Appeals decision that Nigeria had no legal jurisdiction to try Kanu due to his unlawful extraordinary rendition from Kenya. Njoko emphasized that a discharge based on lack of jurisdiction is equivalent to an acquittal, citing the Supreme Court precedent in Federal Government versus Osibo 2006. He further criticized the use of the Terrorism Prevention Act, TPA 2013, which he said had already been repealed and replaced by the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 in May of the same year Kanu was discharged. You can't revive a dead case. That basic law confirmed by Section 6, 1C in brackets of the Interpretation Act 1964, which says repair does not revive a proceeding that was already terminated, he argued. He said Section 1082 in brackets of the new law, which permits the continuation of existing cases, does not apply because the Court of Appeal had already struck out Kanu's case. Njoku expressed sympathy for Kanu's current legal team, and whom he said inherited a case marred by serious errors and limited options for redress. He also urged Kanu's supporters to remain focused and united. The real enemies are the abuse of civil rules in criminal cases, the misuse of repealed laws to try a political prisoners, the silence of foreign government that should know better, and the dangerous precedent of allowing executive power to override constitutional rights, Njoku warned. Despite the hurdles, he expressed optimism that the involvement of senior legal minds such as Kanu, Agbebi, San, and the adjudication by Justice Omotosho could bring a justice outcome. With these legal minds on the case, we have a real shot at restoring the meaning of constitutional rights and freeing a man who has already been discharged, Njoku concluded. So guys, drop your comments below the comment section. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share this video, make it go viral. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye for now.